Hey guys, HMK here once again, and I really want to make this video for a while. And yo, guys, check out peep my new jacket. Anyways, this is a video addressing aspiring YouTubers, and even though it says aspiring YouTubers, it's more of aspiring YouTubers, Twitchers, content creators in general, because I'll be going over advice that I will give on YouTube and Twitch. And a lot of people have been asking me for advice and stuff, and it's really hard to go one-on-one advice stuff. And I've actually done panels in the past for like the past 2-3 years at conventions. I wouldn't say they're classes, them are like seminars on things I learned that hopefully will help those aspiring to do YouTube and Twitch to get a bit further in the game and stuff. That is one reason why I want to make a video. Another reason is that Kingdom Hearts 3 is right around the corner, and I know there's going to be a blow up of Kingdom Hearts content creators when the game releases. Thirdly, there was a huge deal with Nintendo's content creation ban. I don't want to say ban, but it was like weird, wonky rules. But they finally lifted that, so Nintendo content creators can finally flourish. And of course, lastly, there is a response that I want to address and clarify that I did say to another aspiring YouTuber by the name of Jihad, or goes by the name of Jesus. His handle is Jesus, Jihzu. I'm pretty sure that's how you said it. Where I said that you should curb your expectations. The big thing I said, a dangerous mindset is to expect a larger following one day on YouTube and or Twitch. And the reason why I said that is because you should not expect that. And I've said that throughout the years. There's not a new thing I decided to say to somebody or anything like that. I've been saying that at my seminars. If you actually went to that, you can vouch for me and said, like, you should not expect a larger following on YouTube and Twitch because it's not owed. And I'm gonna go into a little bit more about that, because getting big on YouTube and Twitch is there's a lot of luck that goes into it, like 90% luck. Even me, and like, you know, a lot of people say that I'm narcissistic or a dickhead for saying these things like that. Well, a lot of advice I'm going to be going into on this video. Some of it is going to be hard to swallow, a lot of it will be hard to eat, and a lot of it is going to be hard to afford. But I hope that this video will clarify my statement on that, and hope that the advice I give you will help you grow bigger on YouTube. But I just want to let you know, everything in this video is not, and I want to stress this right now, it is not guaranteed to make you grow on YouTube. Oh, sorry. It is not guaranteed to make you grow on YouTube, grow on Twitch. Oh, I'm really burpy. Or anything like that. And you should not expect success anytime soon or at any point, because the YouTube game is a very luck-based game. And if everyone could do it with hard work and dedication, that's one of the facts that no one really wants to talk about. If everyone could do it with hard work and dedication, then everyone would do it. But sadly, that's not the case. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you guys to quit. I'm not telling you guys to quit. I'm not telling you guys to not believe in yourself. I'm not telling you guys to stop the YouTube game right now. Don't do that. Keep going. But I'm just saying, curb yourself. Don't expect success. Don't throw all your eggs in the basket. Have a backup plan. And, you know, do a lot of research into this, because it's a very hard game to play on YouTube and Twitch. But I mean, once you get the hang of it, and hopefully this advice I give you in the video, you'll be able to roll with the punches and stuff like that. So I want to begin off by elaborating on what I mean by hard to swallow, and that it's a dangerous mindset to expect bigger numbers at all on YouTube, and that's very luck based. Here's a little allegory I want to say, that expect that you do all this work. Expect that you put in all this money, all this effort into YouTube and stuff like that. The biggest allegory I can say is that you make, let's say, a card, and you put up a huge portfolio of stuff like that for all your work and stuff. And you actually have a really good card, a really good portfolio and stuff. And this is an old card. I'm gonna get to cards in a little bit in this video too. And you have to get this awesome, amazing card. You have the card made, and then you try to go through the front doors that everyone's trying to get into, because of course everyone wants to get big on YouTube or whatever. Alright, the card allows you to get through the doors because you put in all that work to get through the doors, and then you put your card in a fishbowl, right? And everyone else who passed that threshold puts their card in the fishbowl. You would think that because of the hard work, because of all the numbers, because of all this, blah, 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 all the stuff that you've accumulated, thanks to all the hard work you put in, that the card will be chosen because of that merit. Well, thanks to the algorithm and how YouTube is and all that stuff, it's honestly a random dude is going to go into that fishbowl and pick out a card, and that's the person that will keep on going on. I've seen people that put on so much work to make the best card. This is still the algorithm, by the way. I've seen so many people put huge work to make all this awesome content, really professional looking content, and they go nowhere. And I've seen people who's made very easy to make content, not to take away from their content or whatever, and they've gone exceedingly well and they ran with it. Now, just because your card doesn't get chosen at first doesn't mean that it will get chosen along the line, because of course the algorithm always changes. But like a good another algorithm is that someone when someone chooses a card, your card falls out of the fishbowl and you think you're out of the running or whatever. Then a person walks over, sees your card on the floor, and happens to dig it. Then that person takes that card to their friends and their friends and their friends, and then it gets super viral, and then you get big that way. So basically what I'm saying is that there are multiple ways to get big, but there is no hardcore line to get big or to get a better following and stuff, because it's very luck based. Someone can easily take your card out of the fishbowl and then run with it, and then your card falls out the fishbowl, and then sooner or later someone will find your card on the floor, and then that shit will germinate. So there's a lot of things going into, you know, getting big on YouTube and stuff like that. And I just want to make a point that I'm not trying to say give up. I'm not trying to discourage you, but I'm trying to keep you down, grounded into reality that the YouTube game is very, very luck based and stuff. My growth on YouTube was very luck based. I was very lucky to get here. But of course, once you get to a certain point, when you grow to a certain point, the hard work, that's when it starts kicking in. That's when the hard work will actually produce stuff. But getting through the door, that's a big yikes and stuff. With that being said, I'm going to give you guys a whole list of advice that will help you hopefully get you through the door and get you to that point. The first thing is that your name. Guys, your name represents you. A lot of people know that, but a lot of people don't know and don't understand when they choose their name is that not only the name represents you, it also represents your fans, your eventual following, your eventual fan base, if you get one. All right? And then when I come to advice with names and stuff like that, the biggest thing I get is syllables. Make sure your name rolls off the tongue. It's a short amount of syllables. 4 at max, 5 is pushing it, 3 is optimal. HMK, PewDiePie, things like that. Something that rolls off the tongue that's really good, something that could, you know, be a name that you could just sling out and it'll be fine. The Gamer's Joint, that's 4 syllables. Skyward Wing, Sora Alarm 1, 4 syllables, 5 is pushing it. Don't make it hard to say. Don't make it like I have to, like, you know, it feels like a sentence saying your name. Of course, people that have long names like that still can get big if they're very lucky. Now, another thing when it comes to your name is that, guys, of course, a lot of people think it's cool to do that small x, the small x, big X, the name, and then that, because certain other names get taken. Don't do that. That's an easy way to, like, stamp out your channel out of the running. Also, don't include a lot of numbers. It's cool to include numbers, not a lot of numbers, because, you know, numbers take up their own amount of syllables wherever they are, and some numbers take up 2. So take that in mind. All right. Now, when it comes to equipment, this is very, very important. Equipment. You have to budget yourself, because of course what I say is that YouTube don't expect a return, so don't put out a lot of money into it expecting to get back that money anytime soon. Even if you do get big, you might not see any time of return for like months or so. All right. The first thing I would honestly go in when it comes to money to invest is a microphone, and you can see right here I am running a Blue Yeti. So get a good microphone. I could honestly recommend Blue Yeti. Ooh, what's up with the camera, boy? Chill. All right, so I would advise getting a Blue Yeti. Blue Yetis are good. They're like, you know, they're the very, very safe bet to get a lot of good mic quality and stuff like that, and that's what I'm using right now. But why I say invest in the mic, because cameras can get very expensive, especially the ones that you want to get going into the YouTube game. Cameras can get expensive, and if you run the mic first, a lot of people's like, oh, it's YouTube, broadcast yourself, you have to see yourself. No. Get the mic first, because they can hear your voice. Your voice is going to probably be the most iconic thing on YouTube. And of course, you can create visuals along with your voice. Because most of the cameras that you can get off the bat don't really have a good mic quality to them. They have a good visual quality, but not really good mic quality. That's why mic is to go. And if you do get a bigger fan base, you can always set up that big face reveal at 1, 2, 3, 5, 10K subs and all that good jazz. So that's a good thing to get rolling and stuff. Next thing to invest after a microphone, for those who want to get into the guerrilla style, you know, strategy and stuff, is business cards. make sure you have a good alert and business card. This is actually an old model. I'm replacing this really good, but make sure you have a business card that conveys who you are, what you're about, all the information that could be very approachable from a standpoint of those who want to be potential partners. Say what you do, all that good stuff, and of course all of your contact information on the back. I know double-sided cards are a little bit more expensive than one-sided cards, but honestly guys, they go a lot further than one-sided cards. One-sided cards get thrown out a lot, and that's pretty yikes. And also play around with features, have a lot of good contrasting thing between the letters and the logo and all that good jazz. That's honestly your best bet. All right, when it comes to other things on YouTube and Twitch and stuff, you have to also invest in capture card technology in order to get the video that you need in order to convey all your stuff. And honestly, Elgato is the best bet. I run an HD60S. A lot of people like to run an HD60 Pro. The thing is with HD60 Pro, it plugs directly into your computer, so you can't really take it with you on the go if you go out to conventions or anything like that. So HD60S is honestly the best capture card you can get. It records in 60 frames per second, 1080p, and it's pretty simple and standard, easy to use, and all that good jazz. But then what about computer specs and stuff when you want to edit and all that good jazz? Well, the thing I run is an i7. i7 I feel like is the best thing to do when it comes to your processing power or whatever. You go i7 if it's not in the budget. Remember, guys, everything I'm saying here, please have a budget within your budget. Do not splurge, all right? The best thing I could go for is i7. You can go for an i5. I run right now 25 gigabytes of RAM, but it was a work in progress stuff. This is the computer I have right now running. You can check it out. It's pretty sweet. But of course, if you can't really afford to build your own computer, because I built mine, thanks to friends and knowledge and all that good jazz. If you don't have enough to build a computer or whatever, most computers that you can get out of the box will get the job done when it comes to streaming and processing, when it comes to rendering through your Premiere Pro or whatever. Other things you can invest in is headphones. I don't really invest in headphones. I still run this all good stuff, but for those who are really into the super audio quality, super crisp, you can invest in that. Things like an Elgato Stream Deck that will help a lot with streaming and stuff. And then of course, cameras is very important, but honestly I think it should be one of the last things that you get, especially since cameras can go for very expensive if you want to get the quality that you think you really deserve. You can honestly go for a webcam. The one that right now I run is a Logitech C922. It runs 60 frames per second and 720p. It gets a little bit blurry, but for streaming, it's great. Now for recording, the thing I'm running right now is a Canon PowerShot Mark II. You can't really see it. It's a G7X Mark II reflective surface. Oh, right here. So you can see right here in the reflection. This is what the camera looks like. It's really good, super nice for vlogging and stuff like that. And it's very good. However, the mic quality on it isn't exactly that great. That's why I'm recording this video using that, and the microphone using Audacity and stuff. So that's why I put it together. You're gonna have to learn how to edit. We'll get to that in the video. And then of course, if you want a better mic quality, I would go with some from the Vixia series. When it comes to Canon cameras make really good cameras. You can go with Sony cameras, they're really good too. However, Sony stuff, they break really easily. So yeah, Vixia models are really good, but wherever the onboard microphone isn't that great, so you might have to invest in a external microphone, especially some with a boom cover like this. This gets pretty good mic quality, but of course it's still susceptible to echoes. So keep that in mind. Right now these models, they run about anywhere upwards $500, and so does the PowerShot. So yeah, they're very expensive, and you have to curb yourself. Make sure you put away money if you really want to try and get into this game. Put that away. All right. When it comes to editing and stuff, you have to learn how to edit. But luckily, you have YouTube on your side. There's a lot of things, and my whole career on YouTube has been in a constant learning journey. And I'm learning new things when it comes to editing and stuff. I actually started editing out using Pinnacle Studios. It was pretty good, but then it didn't offer me the stuff I needed in order to keep going. So I went with Adobe Premiere Pro. A lot of people go with Sony Vegas, but I prefer Adobe Premiere Pro. You should really try that, run that out. Tinker with it. It's easy to use, hard to master, that type of thing. And of course, if you're having trouble, you can always search a YouTube video for certain editing styles or certain editing secrets, whatever. So Premiere Pro, learn how to use it, tinker with it, get it. And honestly, that's the best thing. Now, when it comes to streaming and capturing, of course, you're gonna have to run the Elgato technology, the Elgato capture program. Very easy to use. Roxio sucks. Oh boy, but Elgato is really easy to use. Now, when it comes to streaming, XSplit. I personally use XSplit. I'm endorsed by XSplit. I love XSplit. It's very easy to use, very plug and play. A lot of people like to use OBS. It's free on OBS, but I think it's a bit complicated to use, and it doesn't really, convey friendly, like the type of friendliness to new users, aspiring YouTubers, and stuff the way that XSplit does. And XSplit offers a lot of stuff to it. And of course, when it comes to streaming, if you're aspiring to be a Twitch streamer or streaming on YouTube or whatever and stuff, one thing you have to understand that a lot of people gloss over when it comes to Twitch and YouTube, when it comes to streaming, is bitrate. You're gonna have to have a good internet connection to stream, and you're gonna have to set the bitrate to at the very least 2,750. All right, currently I have really good internet, so I set my bitrate to 4,000. The bitrate is what constitutes the blockiness of a stream. If you go out and stream out of the box, oh, I stream 1080p 60 frames per second, it's gonna look great. Not really. If your bitrate is low, it's gonna look very, very blocky, and that's something you have to really research and develop when it comes to streaming and whatnot. Now, when it comes to speaking and emulation of other people, when it comes to presenting yourself on YouTube, you have to make sure that you have a good, I would say, style to your words. I know that's something that's going to be very hard to figure out, but you can always, look at what works, look at what doesn't work, try to mess it up and all that other stuff, especially when you're young. Not young, I should say. When you're small on YouTube, it's very, I'd say a lot easier to experiment than when you get bigger, because you're gonna get known for a certain style, and you're gonna have to keep to it unless you don't want to alienate your fans or follower or whatever like that. Series growth and breakaway. This is something that I talk about a lot. And I mean a lot during my seminars, and something like that you can use to your advantage or disadvantage when it comes on YouTube and Twitch. And that is choosing the series that you want to go with, and choosing the series that you're knowledgeable with, and hopefully getting big from that. Now, if you know me, you do Smash, Kingdom Hearts, Zelda, right? Now, if at one point Zelda, Kingdom Hearts, Smash, Smash, if they were to ever stop, I can use that knowledge and the series that help encompass it in order to break away and find another fan base, or gain even more fan base, even if they don't break away or stop or anything like that. With Smash Bros. Nintendo, I can, literally go out and talk more about Nintendo things, especially Mario, Kirby. Not really Fire Emblem. Fire's not really my cup of tea. Xenoblade, Metroid, all that stuff, because of the relationship of those series with other series. Nintendo is a huge grab bag that a lot of Nintendo tubers have a really easy time picking from, and all that stuff. Kingdom Hearts is a very similar case, because you have Final Fantasy. You can easily dip into Final Fantasy on those Kingdom Hearts downtimes, or you can go into becoming a Disney tuber. They exist, and talk about the various Disney aspects and how they relate to Kingdom Hearts, and talk more about that. Like, you shouldn't expect to get big if you're gonna talk specifically on a very dead franchise that you like, something like, I don't know, Bubsy or anything like that. So you have to understand what is big, what can get big, and do a lot of research into the algorithm and how it works for a specific series, and their hype time, on their load time, how viral they can get when things aren't happening and when things are happening. There's a lot of research you're gonna have to go into when it comes to gaining views or subscribers on YouTube when you do those specific things with the gaming community. And that leads to the next thing: research. You have to research a lot when it comes to YouTube and stuff. And then this is not something you'll find off books, but you can easily find it by learning from other YouTubers and see how they address certain things like copyright claims, copyright strikes, what they can do to your channel, what can they do for your channel, and how to utilize and combat them when you do get claimed and whatnot. Also, you're gonna have to learn a lot about the Google algorithm, because it's constantly changing. You're gonna have to see how it applies to your views, to your subscribers, what's working, what's not working, what continues to work, what won't work. And the funny thing about the Google algorithm is that there is no set way on how it works. And then a lot of this information I feel that I'm giving you in this video could be made irrelevant thanks to a change in the Google algorithm down the line, or it could make even more relevant down the line with the Google algorithm, because it's doing a lot of things in order to keep big people big, small people small. Sometimes it grows smaller people, sometimes it lowers bigger people, sometimes it favors what's this, favors what's that. It's very weird, and it constantly shifts and changes. And one of the big things about staying big or staying into the YouTube game is learn to roll with the punches on that aspect. Now, here's another big thing when it relates to the Google algorithm currently, I should say, is that consistency is key. There's a lot of YouTubers right now that got their name or got big because of things like animation and stuff. And one big change that happened not too long ago about the Google algorithm is that it doesn't favor that anymore, because it favors people who put out, they constantly put out videos. And when you do something like animation, that doesn't really, it can't really be consistent because you have to take the time to actually draw, animate, all that good jazz and whatever. And consistency right now is very key. I try to do a daily upload, 2 daily uploads. I know it sounds hard, but you're gonna have to try and figure out and find the material you can use in order to create that consistent upload schedule and stuff like that. And also, length is very important, when especially with ads and how YouTube pushes videos to the front page. Right now it's favoring longer videos. Back in the day, it used to favor bite-sized videos, videos that subscribers and the viewers could potentially easily digest and stuff back to back to back. But right now, it is favoring longer videos that people will sit down, and their audience retention, which is something you also have to research. Audience retention has to be very high and stuff, and that also applies to how much ad revenue you'll get once you hit that point where you can actually start making money from YouTube. And you also have to incorporate the CPM and how it works for each series, each video, what it can do when you have an MCN or not, and all of that good jazz. Another thing that really can help you in the YouTube game, especially with when you make business cards, is that if you can, and I'm saying if you can, do not blow the budget or whatever, please. That's one of the biggest things I want to say about this entire video. And what I mean that YouTube is very luck-based is that I don't want people to blow their budgets on this YouTube game, on the YouTube game, expecting any type of return, and they don't get it back. You know, I feel that is my responsibility as someone who's made it, in order to convey for those who are aspiring. Please don't blow your budget. Please don't spend a lot of money on this thing when you cannot. If you can, go for it, but understand the risks. So what I was saying is that if you can, make an effort to travel, because a lot of people that help YouTubers, sponsorship programs, aspiring other content creators, people who eyeball content creators, MCNs, people who can help you with deals and all that stuff, go to events such as PAX East, E3, now that it's open to the public and stuff like that, Anime Expo, all of that good jazz. Make an effort to travel if you can, and then have that business card ready and go out and seek those partnerships with people. You have to understand another thing that we'll get into later is how to talk and how to approach these people and stuff like that. People honestly think that due to the way I talk on Twitter or on YouTube, or to certain other people, that I am unable to articulate myself and talk to potential partners when it comes to making deals, sponsorships, or partnerships, or anything like that, when that's not true, because I've learned that early on in the game thanks to school. So you have to know how to articulate, how to present yourself to aspiring YouTube. So a good slate, that, and something I've said before in my in my seminar classes, and to friends that want to get into the game, is that, of course, present yourself. Hi, how are you doing? Are you this? Are you that? Let's say DX Racer, all right? Hi, how are you doing? Are you the spokesperson? Are you here running this DX Racer booth? Is there anyone I could talk to in blah, blah, blah. No. Let's say DX Racer, all right? Hi, how are you doing? My name is blah. All right, I'm not gonna say my real name, but my name is blah. I would like to talk to anyone who is handling partnership deals, or anyone that can help aspiring content creators or to content creators on YouTube and Twitch. I feel that this will be a very good partnership if you will allow me to present myself, and we can probably reach a deal, or perhaps reach a deal. And you find the person who's that, you sell yourself, present yourself, but you gotta sell yourself and stuff. And also have the business card ready, ask questions, how you can grow using DX Racer, what DX Racer expects from you, all that good jazz. Have a good mindset ready in order to talk to people and approach people when you want to get further in this YouTube game with that stuff. Now, speaking of partnerships and how to present yourself stuff, also be sure to make friends, all right? Friends always help you out in the YouTube game, especially those who are other content creators or those that can help you in that game. Of course, you know, friends foremost are friends for friends, you know, but of course, make friends with people that you know that share your interests, that you can help or they can help you. And you also gotta strategize with people that you see that are going up and people that could use your help and whatnot. As a role model of mine, DC Douglas, once said.
That's the thing, is as you go through your careers, no matter what they are, be nice to the people going up.
That video was actually one of my most earliest videos ever. And I've taken that advice with me to heart, and it's helped me a lot in the YouTube game and stuff. So I think you should take that into account as well. That video is old. Now let me talk a little bit about drama-made YouTube videos, when you make videos based on drama and how it's bad for you in the long run. Now, a lot of people who make drama videos, not a lot, but I mean some people who make drama videos, they do see a return when it comes to that. And one of the biggest things I could say is the video that Jihad made on me, is that of course you see the return in the short-term run. Of course you're getting bigger. Congratulations on the subs, by the way. You see that type of return, but of course that type of return only garners your fans through that type of negativity, and that it's gonna be a stigma that sticks to you longer than you expect. And of course, growing up out of positive virility is a lot better than that, because of course they will stick around for your message and not the fact that the message that you have against another person is what drove them to you. Also, when you make drama-based videos on a certain person, of course you get the traffic, and that's what helps you in the short-term run, but you have to think about the long-term run, how people view you, not just me or just anyone of my followers or anything like that. When the drama is made on a bigger person, I would say, those people that follow the bigger person, sponsorships, deals, all that stuff, they look at that, and 9 times out of 10 that doesn't look good for you, and they remember that, and then a little down the line that actually doesn't help you in the long run. So it's really good for those who are aspiring YouTubers. It's really good to avoid that kind of content and stuff, because of how it can affect you in the long run with other potential partners and all that good jazz, because it's not really a good look for them, especially when they are, working with you or have themselves attached to you. Now, talking about growth, let's talk about growth. Growth on YouTube is a very, very, very fickle mistress, and you have to understand and figure out what works, even in the lower numbers that you are as an aspiring YouTuber. All right, a video that gets, let's say, 5 views versus a video that gets 200 views, you have to understand why that video got 200 views and why this video got 5 views. And of course, you have to enjoy the content you're making, but if you want to get big, and if you want to get your foot through that door, you have to understand what works and what doesn't when it comes to the growth on that YouTube video. And of course, virility helps when it comes to Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and all that integration. Instagram, that honestly, all that helps. So please get all that when it comes to Facebook, Twitter. Make a Twitter page, make a Facebook page, make an Instagram page. Even though I don't use my Instagram that much, use those. They will help germinate your video once you put something out and whatnot. Also, be sure to use hashtags to the best of your ability. If you were to make a hashtag, it's like, oh, this hashtag, this video rocks. That's not really well, maybe, I guess, but what I mean is that a hashtag that isn't really a hashtag, if you were small and you made a hashtag and stuff and using that hashtag, how's that hashtag going to serve you at that point in time? Of course, when you get bigger and more notable, then you can create hashtags, and that can easily spread out to people that follow you, and then they use and stuff. But if you're not at that point, how's that hashtag going to help you? So that's why you have to use hashtags that work, hashtags that are consistent, hashtags that bring people in when they use that hashtag. Hashtag Kingdom Hearts, hashtag Kingdom Hearts 3, hashtag KH3 Share the Magic, hashtag Kingdom Hearts Unlock the Magic, all that stuff. You have to know what gets you to that point. Now, when it comes to growth, a big thing that can help with growth is collab mentality. And stick around to the end of this video, because you're going to have to want to see it. Collab mentality is good because it helps you make collaborations with other YouTubers, big or small. But you have to know how to present yourself and stuff, because there's a lot of times where bigger YouTubers just write off smaller YouTubers that want to try and get those collabs going and stuff. You have to know how to present yourself and address other YouTubers, and also show, convey, and talk about how it will benefit both of you, because that is what a collaboration is. And of course, make it fun. Collab with people that you know that you can synergize with. All right, don't collab with someone that is just big and then you like and you look forward to it. Of course, that is a good mentality to have at certain points. But when you are trying to collaborate to get something out of it, or to grow both you guys, in order for cross-breeding, cross-promotion, cross-pollination, there you go. Make sure you find people at first that you can synergize well. And that's not saying that you can't find bigger YouTubers or specific YouTubers, but find out what's your groove, establish that groove, and then of course when you go to other YouTubers that don't really fit that groove, make it known that you are trying to have a certain groove to a video and stuff, and then take that give or take. So, oh, you can do this and I can do that, and we can finally, have a good product once we put it out together. One thing that you shouldn't do when it comes to collab mentality is beg, blow up someone's inbox. That doesn't look good at all. It really doesn't. And then, of course, the type of emails that really don't work is that, hey guy, or hey, I'm the smaller YouTuber. I really think this is a great collab. I have a really good collab idea. Message me back for it. Never do that. That email instantly goes into the trash. All right, because if it was such a good idea, this is the mentality of a lot of people, a lot of bigger people, a lot of partners, potential stuff. If it was really such a great idea, then you would have said it, and why should a person waste their time messaging you back? No, present yourself with the idea, but not too much of the idea, so that if you're afraid that someone might steal it and stuff like that, don't ever expect that. But when it comes to the idea, have a good idea, present that part of the idea to the person. Try reel them, hook them in, bait them in order to try and give you a chance and stuff like that. You have to present a good, enticing email in order to get that collaboration in the door. There's a lot of emails that I've seen that actually work that way, and I feel that is the best option. Know how to talk to potential partners in emails and in real life. You have to know how to articulate, how to present yourself. Make sure that you present yourself as a warm, caring person, but of course understand that YouTube, when it does the deals and sponsorships and stuff like that from other companies, YouTube is a business and you have to address it as such. You have to present yourself as such. And what I mean by that is that, speak professionally, talk professionally, but of course with a warm, inviting. Don't be like a robot. It's like, all right, this is what I present to you. You blah, blah, blah. No, be yourself, but at the same time, be professional. And then here's another big kicker when it comes to potential partners, potential sponsorships, even collaborators and other stuff, is that you have to understand your level. And I don't want you to misconstrue this and take this the wrong way, where it's not like, oh, small YouTubers should know their place. That's not what I'm trying to say. Or bigger YouTubers should know their place. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is understand your level so that you convey yourself in the most optimal way to other people. If you're a small YouTuber, you have to understand those numbers probably won't get you a lot of places if you try to push them in and flex them and stuff like that. Like if you try to flex with 200 subscribers to other people and sponsorships and stuff, it's probably not gonna look good for you. It's gonna make you look egotistical at a very low level and stuff like that. So you have to understand your level. When you're bigger and stuff like that, what I mean by understanding your level, when you're bigger, you have to make sure to flex those numbers and make sure that people, potential sponsorships, don't walk all over you. And what I mean by that is they offer you less money, or they try to put you into a contract that you don't like. You have to understand your worth. That's what I'm saying. Stuff like when you're bigger, don't let people try to walk all over you, even though you have bigger numbers and all that stuff. Because you're confident, you can flex. Listen, I get these views and I expect this. When you're smaller, it's hey, look, I have these views, this is what you can expect of me and stuff like that. I feel that we can honestly get a good collaboration going. So you have to understand your level, because if you go in with a small fan base thinking you're big, that's gonna look bad. If you go in with a large fan base still thinking you're small, you're gonna get walked all over by partnerships and sponsorships and all that good jazz, and that does not look good. Now, when it comes to seeking sponsorships, a big misconception is that a lot of people believe that when it comes to YouTube and Twitch, a lot of sponsorships, when you reach to a certain level, let's say my level, all right, a lot of sponsorships come to you. That's not the case. 9 times out of 10, you have to go out and seek them, even at someone at my level, which is around 100K, right? You have to go out and seek them. The people that, the sponsorships that seek people, they see people at the top, million, past million. People like Zero, Nairo, big YouTubers like Jackson guys, they go to them, they seek them out. For other people, anything lower than that, you're gonna have to go and seek them out. You have to seek out partnerships, potentially with Elgato, Discord, XSplit, all that stuff, DX Racer, Gamefly, anything you want to try and get some sponsorships going. You have to seek them out. You have to send them emails. You have to send them enticing numbers and stuff like that. And once again, flex those numbers, because you being nice to certain certain sponsorships or partnerships is not going to work entirely. You're going to have to show them why they should sponsor you and partner with you. All right, but of course you're going to have to get to a point where you have the numbers to flex and stuff. And then we come to multi-channel networks, aka MCNs. If you guys don't know what MCNs, they're basically things like Machinima, Screenwave Media, and I'm part of Disney Digital Network, which was formerly known as Polaris, formerly known as Maker Studios. I'm right now with Disney Digital Network and stuff. And when it comes to personal experience with my network and stuff, I can't really say a lot because I am protected. I'm not protected, but it's protected by NDA. So I can't really go into the specifics of Disney Digital Network, but I can say they've treated me very well, and that's one thing you're gonna have to look when if you want to go look for MCNs. Right now with the Google algorithm, it's really a give or take, and it's really up to you if you reach a certain point if you want to get into MCNs. All right, you're gonna have to do a lot of research into them and in the contracts they provide you and stuff, and honestly know the split. If you're a very small, and I mean like extremely small YouTuber, let's say like 200 to 500 subs, if you decide to accept an MCN at that point, make sure it's at very most 1 year. Don't go over a year at your thing, because that's how you get locked and fucked. All right, 1 year, okay? 1 year. 1 year. And if you're gonna go with the 60-40 split, if you feel that the benefits can outweigh that, then go for it. But I'm just saying it's a very dangerous game. You have to understand your worth, understand the splits is very, very, very important. And also the contracts. This isn't some hanky-panky like, hey, YouTuber, like sign away, let's go. No, these contracts are very, very real, very legal contracts. And if you ever get if you ever get confused and stuff, if you're on the younger side, ask your parents. If you're not on the younger side, you still get confused, go to a lawyer. All right, have them look over the thing if you ever get confused. And also, since these are contracts that are assigning your channel away to certain MCNs, you do have the right to negotiate. All right, don't let any MCN try to bully you or strong arm you into a certain type of contract, thinking that that's the only thing you can get. You can negotiate. You can negotiate benefits, a higher cut, and stuff like that. But most MCNs right now, except for Machinima, they do have good offerings and good benefits and what they can do to help grow your channel. But of course, in order to be accepted by some of the best MCNs, you have to, once again, get your foot through the door. And getting through the door is you're gonna have to grow a lot on your own at first and stuff. And that's the hardest part about YouTube, that because it's very luck based, that the algorithm kind of pushes your video to the front page or anything like that. It's very hard. Now, in closing, I do want to speak specifically on a couple of things. All right. The first thing, of course, is, if you don't know, and I hope you've been watching this video to the end. All right, Jihad. The things I said to you was purely advice. I stand by it. It's not like I'm apologizing for it, but it was never meant to be taken in a negative context, and it's never been presented as a negative context. And the reason why I kept talking to you civilly throughout the entirety of our little spat was because I knew you were an aspiring YouTube content creator and stuff. But I want you to understand that it is a very hard, a very dangerous game, that a lot of luck goes into it. You should not expect a huge or a larger or any type of growth in following at all. What you do get is, I don't want to take it away. It's like, oh, hard work isn't what got you it, but I just want to say having the larger fan base and having the larger growth and stuff like that, it's very luck based because of the algorithm and how it's presented and how virility works and stuff. I never, ever, and this to all other aspiring YouTube content creators, I never wanted to discourage you or tell you to stop or quit or anything like that. Because, like you said, once upon a time, I was in your shoes. But back then, I knew it was very luck-based. I knew that I shouldn't expect any type of growth. And luckily, I got it. But the hard work is what keeps me here. But the luck is what gets me there. Now, I want to make sure you know that. And from some of the responses you sent on Twitter, it seems, and the way I was talking to you civilly, I'm willing to hash it out and stuff. You can hit me up on Twitter, and I have a very, very interesting offer for you. Because of course you did grow, but you grew because of the videos that you put out on me and stuff. And honestly, bro, that's not the way to go. But if you're willing, we can hash it out, and I have a very enticing offer for you specifically, but it's very timed because for fans, hey, I'm gonna be going to Disney Springs when the Kingdom Hearts 3 thing opens up on Friday. So that means I'm leaving tomorrow night, Thursday night. This video is up Wednesday. Right now it's like 1:40 something. So it's very time based. Hit me up. We'll hash it out. All right, and offer about that. So I want everyone to know that, especially not just Jihad, but I want everyone to know that you should very take that into account. That I'm not telling you guys to quit. I am not telling you guys to be discouraged. I'm just trying to let you guys know, grounded in reality, that sometimes hard work, and I've said before, way before in the video, hard work can get you nowhere on YouTube. It really can. All right, it's not. And I've said this before, it's not a blue-collar job where you put in something and then you get something out of it. It doesn't work like that. YouTube is not like that, because if it was, everyone would be doing it. It's a very luck-based game. It's a very, hard system to break. And the Google algorithm, the fact that it constantly changes and keeps favoring bigger YouTubers is getting harder and harder by the day. And I want people to understand and know those risks. That's why I don't want people to, put, like, I wouldn't say waste, but put too much of their life, put too much of their money, put too much of their hope and dreams into that, and then get nothing back, because that's the worst feeling. That's honestly worse than anything, and that's the thing I'm trying to convey to you guys. All right, sure, it's a message that you would think is discouraging, and sure, it's a message that's hard to swallow, but it's something that reality that you have to keep yourself girded. Other than that, work hard, keep going, go shoot for the stars, but understand that you're still on Earth. All right, that's basically the give or take I want to give that day. There has to be that balance of understanding when it comes to YouTube, and that's where I come into the final message of this video and stuff like that. And this is something I talked about only to Dean. I've only said this to Dean. I've only said this to Dean, and this is the message I want to say, is that I've only said this to Dean, and the one thing that I want you guys to understand is that if you guys don't know, I'm a bit older than some of my fellow content creators that I associate with when it comes to the Keykeepers and the Chamber of Sages, and I've known that since I started YouTube. All right, I started YouTube way back when, and I was still older than a lot of them, and I'm still older than a lot, because that's how time works. But with that being said, luckily I always had the backup plan, and luckily YouTube came to fruition for me. But of course, me being older, and as time goes on, I'm not saying I'm quitting, but I'm saying that I'm gonna keep creating videos as much as I can. But throughout my journey on YouTube and seeing my fellow content creators grow and stuff, and this is very fledgling, this is like in the very earliest making, I think I finally figured out what I want to do with the rest of my life once I do get to that older stage of my life and stuff. And the fact that I'm older than my fellow content creators that have zoomed past me, and that's good. And you would think that, jealousy is like, no, what? The thing I want to do, and the calling that I had with my life, and I've always told this to Dean, is that at one point, and I said to him, the reason why I created the Keykeepers, the reason why I created the Chamber of Sages, is because part of me always knew that my age will eventually catch up to me, and that the YouTube game will definitely will not favor me always. And I want to be that person from the beginning to help groom the younger, new generation. Not really groom, but help grow. And that's why I started the Keykeepers. That's why I saw the growth in Sky. I saw the growth in Dean. I saw the growth in Jared, and Jared actually came to me before I came to him, which is hilarious, right? And that's why I started the Keykeepers, and that's why I started the Chamber of Sages, because I really wanted to put those groups together, not only to create awesome content, surround us, and make great friends, but to also help set up the future of those specific realms of content creation and gamers and YouTubers and Twitchers, right? So I want to help them, and I've seen them grow, and I could not be happier for that. And I feel that my calling later on when I get older is to set something up, to be part of a network, to be part of an organization, to be part of something, to help use my knowledge and what I see from others, and help collaborate that knowledge with everyone as much as I can, and talk about the things that other people won't when it comes to the YouTube game, and help set up the future of YouTube. And I'm not saying in my place, but in their places. I felt that I left my mark already. Alright, so that's why when people try to tear me down or stuff like that, I don't really care, because I left my mark already. And yeah, I'm still shooting for the stars, but my place has already, been placed. So when people come at my neck, it doesn't really matter to me, because I'm already come to terms with myself to try and push the others forward. And that's what I want to do, and that's why I want to help others. And I'm still, this is still very early in development, but that's what I'm trying to do in order to set people up for the future, and then search out people I know that can do it. And if people think they can't do it or need help to do it, I will help them to the best of my ability to do it. And that, I guess, that's the end game for me. That's the goal for me, and that's what I want to do later in life. And that's why I created the Keycubers. That's why I created the Chamber of Sages, because I saw those younger than me getting bigger, better, stronger than me in my older age and stuff. And that's why I want to help them. I want to help make a group that got huge and became the premier Kingdom Hearts group, and I got the premier Zelda people all together, and I saw them grow way past me, and I couldn't be more prouder. And that's basically what I want to do out of life, and that's something I've only told Dean, and now I'm telling you guys that, and that's why I'm hitting you up, Jihad. So hit me up, Jihad. Once again, the message that I said to you was never meant to be taken like that. I want to give advice, and I want to help curb people to understand that YouTube is very luck based, but despite that, I want to help people with that thing. So guys, keep that in mind, and I hope this video helped you out a lot. Dang, I got a lot of edit to do with this, but I hope this video helped you out a lot, and I hope that you will share up this video to everyone who wants to get into the YouTube game, because a lot of what I said is there's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about or don't want to share to others. So guys, until the next video, I've been HMK. Check you guys later.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Zemnis off.